start the season.
What a fun night. You know, the chills in the air. It's November, and it feels like basketball season. And what a better night than to start with this Gonzaga team.
In an era where there's so much turnover, the Bison roster maintained it. Obviously, with Avery Coonan back, that's a huge building block for Jory Collins.
Very much so. And I know with the Gonzaga program, the history that they've had, they really hung their hat on the fact they had continuity. Yeah. They did graduate a lot of players. So I think for the Bison, with the players coming back, the new pieces they've added, it's going to be a fun team to watch, and it's exciting for the year.
I'd say for the first time in the Division I era, there's real expectations on this team. They were picked second in the preseason poll. It's going to be interesting to see how that team handles that this year.
And I think they appreciate it, but I think, as you said, the end of the season last year really helped them come together. They weren't happy as they finished the conference season, and they built a lot of energy and a lot of confidence. And I think they're just trying to pick that up and move forward this year.
Let's introduce the third member of our team tonight, Riley Swenson. We'll look at two new faces you're going to see on the court for the Bison tonight. Riley, good evening.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Got the chance to talk with head coach Jory Collins before this one about a couple of the newcomers. Jossie Schiller, the transfer, he said she's got to be a defensive stopper, not just tonight, but throughout the season. Expect her to contribute on the defensive end. We know what she can do, shooting the ball, but defense has got to be her MO. And for Carrington Asp, another newcomer, the freshman, he said she can get out in transition. She's great with her feet, but expect her to settle in and be more of a three-level scorer. Don't be surprised if she steps out and shoots it from long range tonight, guys.
That's Riley. When we come back, we'll tip it off. It's Gonzaga, North Dakota State, the Bison home opener next on WDAY Extra. Back inside a packed Shields Center. We're hooping on a Friday night. The North Dakota State home opener for the Bison in 25-26 as they welcome in the Gonzaga Bulldogs. What's going to be a fun night of basketball here to open up the home portion of the schedule. We mentioned the Bison got a big win on Monday night, knocking off Northern Iowa 63-49, the final on that. A couple of players to watch here in this matchup tonight. We mentioned Avery Coonan goes without saying for the Bison. There's a fellow Becky Hammond Award watch list member, Allie Turner, sophomore guard for the Zags, 5'8". She can fill it up. Had 19 points in their exhibition game. That's a player that the Bison are going to have to mark here tonight.
She is a great shooter and stretches the floor for this team. And, 19 in their exhibition and just a good percentage shooter. So she's going to be a fun one. Bison are going to have to know where she is and defend her well.
Lisa Fortier is in her 12th season in guiding the Bulldogs. A mark of 289-74, has built a powerhouse program in Spokane. They made the NCAA tournament in 2024, made the WBIT last year, picked second in the West Coast Conference preseason poll. Of course, they're moving to the Pac-12 next season. Jory Collins begins year 7 at North Dakota State, a mark of 99-82. One more win gets into an even 100. The Bison picked third in the Summit League a year ago. They made the WNIT quarters a season ago. And we are underway on this Friday night. The Zags in their traditional navy blue, the Bison going all white. We're glad you're joining us here on WDAY Extra. Should be a great year of Bison women's hoops.
Looks like Zags came right out in man-to-man defense. Going to just challenge Bison one-on-one here.
This is a matchup to watch already as Coonan against Whitaker, and Coonan gets the first two.
Nice job just to rise up over, get a clean shot, and finish that.
Avery did not have a single shot or point in the first half, Amy, in the win on Friday night or Monday night against Northern Iowa. If you would have told me that, and the Bison were up by double digits, no one would have believed that.
And then for her to double in the second half. But she knew and was ready for the double team. I think Jory was ready for the double team anytime the ball went into her. Just took some time for her to get some shots off, and she had a great second half.
Z Oakuzo misses that. Now, this is the season opener for Gonzaga. They have not played a game. All they played was a couple of exhibitions, so.
A lot of new players on their team as well. They were a veteran team last year, made the Sweet 16, so it was a great season for them.
Marissa Frost now into the starting lineup. Molly Lenz back for her second season, stripped of that, and Whitaker comes up with a loose ball.
Just good off-ball defense and a chip away.
Whitaker will take a three. Way off the mark with that. The long ball comes to Frost. Marissa wants to push it right to the basket. Too strong with that. Rebound picked up by Whitaker.
She doesn't miss that often. She's able to get in there with that left hand, but just maybe a little intimidated by the size around her.
Inez Betancourt with the ball right now. Transfer from the University of Connecticut. That's a three is good from Allie Turner. We mentioned her. Gets the Zags on the board.
watched her shoot in the warm-ups, and she was hitting everything. And, yes, they have very credentialed players. I mean, when you look through that roster, transfer from Connecticut, some international players, and players
nifty
with
feed.
great resumes.
Frost to Abby Kraswinski back for her junior season as the Bison go up by 1. Off a curl. Okuso goes right to the basket. Too strong with that. Kraswinski and Lenz fought over that. Whitaker comes up with it.
And that can happen. You'd rather have them fighting over it than standing and watching.
Got a 5 on the shot clock. Betancourt feeds it to Whitaker. Boy, that was nifty.
Nice dribble penetration with a head up and knew where to drop it and when.
That pass too tall for Kraswinski.
Looking to push it, looking ahead, and AK ran the floor, just wasn't able to catch it just a little high. But Jossie won't make that mistake very often.
Schiller, of course, the transfer in from University of North Dakota, the Summit League Freshman of the Year. Went in the portal and decided to go 75 miles south. And now starting her sophomore campaign at North Dakota State. Kraswinski able to knock that away as they try to get the entry pass to Whitaker.
As I watch Jossie on the floor, she reminds me of back in the day, Jody Buck Stefanowicz as a point guard. Just tenacious, knew her job and roles and responsibilities, and you could count on them. And sometimes after a turnover, you just knew she was going to get a steal. Something good would happen.
Boy, that's some high praise there. Off the inbound, that shot off the mark and a foul, the rebound action. And they're going to get Kraswinski. She was tied up underneath with McKinley Dallin, who just checked into the lineup.
AK plays hard. She plays big for her height and doesn't shy away from some contact.
Dallin, number 22, transfer from the Gophers. And the nifty roll is good from Okuso. It gives Gonzaga a 3-point lead. Schiller thought about it. Frost will glide there, and a late foul call. Turner puts her hands up, but she's going to be whistled for that.
Well, it was a good dribble penetration and heads up and protected the ball and just that reach in. And now she'll go to the line where she's very effective.
Marissa was nearly automatic from the free throw line a season ago. Named to the Summit League All-Freshman team. Had her coming out party last December in a win over Montana. And there you go. There's the announcer jinx to start things, huh?
We jinxed her.
You know, she missed one on Monday night as well. Last year was 81% from the foul line. 1 of 2. As Abby Graham will check into the lineup, the lone senior on this Bison roster. Also, as Riley was talking about, freshman Carrington Asp into the game, number 15. She had 11 points in her collegiate debut, aiming on Monday night in a homecoming game for her against Northern Iowa.
You know, it was fun to listen to that game, and it could have gone. You know, you like to take your team on the road when you have a lot of freshmen because it takes away the pressure. But here she goes on the road, and she's in front of all of her friends and family, so it could have gone south, but she stepped up big and had a great game.
Boy, she had one Euro step move in the first half that did not look like a freshman out there.
Finished with her left hand, just very athletic.
3.5 minutes gone here in this opening quarter. Turner with a long 2, can't connect. Schiller fights for the board and able to draw a foul.
Again, just kind of, he's going to get in there and scruffy little player.
They're going to get Taryn Gardner on the foul, number 24, sophomore from Boise State transfer.
See a little pressure, a little half-court pressure coming from Gonzaga.
Oh, Okuso knocked that out of bounds. Bison team, of course, that made a great run in the WNIT after unceremoniously losing in the opening round of the Summit League tournament. Totally changed the offseason expectations after picking up 3 wins in the WNIT. As here's Lenz, kicks this to Abby Graham. Coonan will put it on the floor. She'll go up with it. Way short with that. Schiller going to fight for it and able to draw another foul. And Jossie is so good And being able to do that.
Working in there, getting the position, just getting around, and then causing that foul.
Schiller was what a couple coaches told me, the Energizer Bunny. She's a former state champion in cross country and in track at Grand Forks Red River. She just does not get tired. Something that Jory Collins loves to see because he wants to play some up-tempo hoops this year.
Well, you saw that in her high school performances, and again last year at UND. She stepped as player of the year as a freshman,
yes.
Freshman player of the year. Just had a great year.
Bison have already drawn 4 fouls here on Gonzaga in the first 4 minutes and 8 seconds of this one. Schiller with a pull-up jumper way off the mark with that. Coonan tried to save it, and she did. Heads-up play by Avery Coonan.
Good quickness, just got over there, got a hand on it, and was able to push it off the Gonzaga player.
That's a great play.
Smart play.
Here's Schiller, runner in the lane, good from Jossie. Tough shot. She makes those and then steals it, and it won. How about that sequence?
And that's where you see a true point guard. You know, she knows when to come back and just pick up a little steal like that, but such a momentum changer and smart play.
That's, again, what she brings to the table, how heads-up basketball she plays, and you just can't take anything off when she's out there.
Those are the intangibles, you know. Those are the things that you don't really teach. They just have a feel, those kind of players, and she's very good at picking the right time.
How about that little 5-point burst there from Schiller to put the Bison in front at 10-7. Lily Niebuhr will check in for the first time. Number 31, transferred in from Indiana State, native of Chaska, Minnesota. Give the Bison some size down low. With the departure of Abby Draper to graduation.
And she's got a little more physical style, which can allow the Bison to have a matchup against another physical player, which we haven't had for the last couple of years.
Oh, Akuzo with a nice finish. She's got an early 4 to Z. Puts the Zags back within 1 as we'll get our first media stoppage at the next whistle. And there it is as we get a dead ball foul.
Not sure who they're going to call.
They're going to get that on Molly Lenz here. Timeout of the floor. 4:59 to go. Opening quarter. Bison leading it by 1. .459 to go, opening quarter, 10-9. North Dakota State with a lead on Gonzaga. Jossie Schiller with an early 5 to pace the Bison. What do you make of the pace so far in this one?
You know, fun first 5 minutes. Both teams seem to be looking for that up-tempo. Both teams are really moving the ball. You're seeing it go side to side, utilizing everyone in their offensive attack, and just well-matched teams.
Frost out there with Asp, Lenz, Krzyzewski, and Schiller as Coonan will get her first breather. Little cross-court pass to Turner, working on Schiller. Turner right to the basket, boy. Nifty move from Allie Turner.
Nice finish, just good dribble penetration and use to the backboard.
Turner with an early 5. Zags go back in front. Here's Asp guarded by Whitaker. Frost trying to get around, kick to the corner. Asp will take a 3 off the mark, right on cue for what Riley told us in the pregame, but couldn't connect.
Well, again, you see good team defense on the part of Gonzaga. They communicate well, they move well, and if your shot's off, you're going to have to get hard to the boards.
Whitaker couldn't finish there. Good rebound by Asp, giving up about 3 years of experience to the veteran in Whitaker. And a couple inches, too.
Asp just gets so well off her feet, times things well, and plays strong, especially as just a freshman. He's a physically strong player.
Pull-up jumper from Molly Lenz off the mark there. Schiller with an offensive board.
Just brings it back out, gets offense going here again.
Krzyzewski Off the mark there. Bison have been ice cold to start the season from three-point range. In transition. Layup in and out from Julia Wilson. And Kraswinski with the board.
Hard to score that when you're that far under the basket and you use your right hand. You don't have a very good angle, and you saw that ball go up kind of flat and spin off the rim and back out. I think the Bison have done a good job just developing that left-hand finish when they come in at an angle from the left.
Going to hear a loud ovation here in the crowd as number 23 for Gonzaga, Jaden Hale, checks into the lineup. Reigning Miss North Dakota. Won a state championship last year at West Fargo Horace High School. Making her collegiate debut. She's got about 100 family members and friends. The entire Horace Hawks girls basketball team is here tonight. Special moment for her.
Doubt when she decided to go to Gonzaga that she knew she'd be playing back in Fargo.
For her first game as Coonan scores. Avery with an early 4.
Nice inbound play there by the Bison.
She was telling me earlier today. Last time I was here, we won the EDC championship in March.
So she's got
a lot of good vibes here. Yep. Paige Loafing also into the game. Misses that shot. And a foul in the rebound action. Looks like they're going to get Kraswinski on the foul. That's going to be the second on EK. That was something Amy the Bison had to deal with on Monday night, was foul issues. Coonan was in trouble.
Yeah,
Kraswinski was, and so was Schiller in the first half.
That first half, and again, that's where Jory would hope that, you know, those timeouts wouldn't have to, or substitutions wouldn't have to come because of fouls, but because of players just needing a rest and not dictated by a foul situation.
Taylor Smith, the transfer from Weber State. She had 20 in Gonzaga's exhibition win. Gets her first 2, working on Coonan. Put the Zags back in front. Schiller left open. Rattles it home. Jossie off to a quick start with 7.
Just a nice pull-up jumper. Kind of kept some distance from her defender.
Look at that. Comes up with a steal.
Just quick hands. Quick hands against a skilled player.
Coonan drives and the foul. How about that shot?
And a great opportunity to score off the steal as well. I mean, that's always a bonus.
Again, Schiller just all over it there, able to force the steal.
Just quick hands and was able to pick it back up with the dribble and push ball up the floor. Just good defensive play.
She's going to go a well-earned breather here. Schiller already 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals in the first almost 8 minutes here of this first quarter as Coonan completes the 3-point play, tied with Team I Honors with 7 as the Bison go back in front by 4.
And I'm sure Schiller doesn't think she needs that breather, but she probably appreciates it because she's always going to go hard.
Here's Hale, leaves it for Olakuzo. Olakuzo pump up jumper, good. Z off to a real quick start. She's got 6 for the Zags.
You know, and it's just Pierre's early going here. That's a team that doesn't panic. You know, they take the hit and turn around and come back with just some good play.
Amelia Hobson into the game for the first time. We're going to wave off the hoop. Got a foul as they're going to get Hale on that. He's going to put the Bison into the bonus already with 5 team fouls on Gonzaga as Coonan will go to the line. What a year she had last year. Amy, first team Summit League selection, averaged 14 and 8 as she misses the first, but her end of 2025, especially in the WNIT, she was unstoppable.
Got better and better and better the second half of the season. If she has an Achilles, it was a free throw shooting, and got to just continue to work on that part of her game because she's going to get fouled.
Named to the Becky Hammond mid-major watch list, which goes to the top mid-major player in college basketball. Olakuzo short with that. Fight for the rebound. Asp had it, lost it, and Hale comes up with it.
And again, just good.
On a 3 is good. That's a killer as Turner delivers.
Just good, cool head. Got the ball, waited for that open pass, and were able to score that 3.
Under a minute to go in the quarter. There's a foul there. As Olakuzo is trying to steal that one from Coonan.
Again, these players,
That's her second, too.
Okuzo transfers from St. Mary's into the program. So they brought some kids from different parts of the country and world and brought them together here to see what they can do. And first quarter here, I think they've got a very nice team.
Kunin now 1 of 3 to start things at the line. Okuzo was named to the West Coast Conference preseason team. As Amy mentioned, a transfer from St. Mary's. This Gonzaga outfit, 1 of 2 for Avery. This is their last year in the West Coast Conference. They're moving next year to the Pac-12, the new look Pac-12, and it is going to be a much different competition. But again, they play everybody. I think they're going to seamlessly move into that league.
You look at their just through November. I mean, they're playing they play Indiana, they play Stanford, South Dakota State. They're going to get a chance to play down Sioux Falls. I mean, they don't shy away from competition.
Lenz just picked up her second foul, so the Bison and the Zags each with some foul issues as Schiller's break took all of about a minute as she's back into the game.
I'm sure that's all she feels she needed.
Well, the intriguing thing to me, and I think for Bison fans that noticed in the offseason that Schiller was transferring, wondering, well, wait a minute, Marissa Frost is a point guard, Molly Lenz is a point guard. How are they going to coexist? And Jory Collins told me point blank in the offseason, we're going to play those guys on the floor at the same time, Amy.
Yeah, they're skilled players. You know, if you can have kids that understand how to pass the ball and can shoot the three, dribble, penetrate, work together like here against a press, heads up.
Boy, that was something that was a killer last year. The Bison just had a really hard time with teams that decide to press them.
The only time you're gonna struggle is if the opponent has a sizable difference and they're able to take advantage defensively of your players and shut them down. But they move the ball well and they can do the fundamental things well.
Shot clock is turned off. Here's Turner. It's been excellent to start. Nearly lost the handle on that. Leaves it for Smith. Here's Wilson, down to 3. Wilson spins and 1 for Julia Wilson, the freshman.
Good, just good heads up, dribble penetration. Got the ball on the glass, just into that seam, and was able to finish and get herself to the free throw line as well.
Wilson, freshman out of Temecula, California, with a chance to complete a three-point play, and does so. Gives Gonzaga 3-point lead. Last chance here if Schiller can put one up before the horn, and will not. And that is the end of a highly entertaining opening quarter that sees Gonzaga hit 4 of its last 5 shots. At the end of one, it's Gonzaga 22, North Dakota State 19. Second quarter is coming up. You're watching Bison women's basketball on WDAY Extra. 22-19, Gonzaga with a lead after one on this Friday night at the Shack. Each team shooting 50% from the field. Gonzaga 9 of 18. North Dakota State 7 of 14 to start things. Schiller with 7, Kunin with 7.
Doesn't look much like the first game of the season for either team. They're both looking like they've had a few games under.
This is Gonzaga's season opener. Bison played Monday night, won in Cedar Falls, Iowa. What do you make of what you saw out of the first 12 minutes here?
Well, when you look at second chance points, Gonzaga has 9. That was probably the biggest difference statistically when you look across. They're well-matched teams, and going to see a good one for the next 3 quarters.
Deep shot there from Turner was well short. Last touch by the Zags. Schiller joined by Asp, Hobson, Kunin, and Frost on the floor for the Bison. Wilson, who gave the Zags a nice burst off the bench. Joined by Turner along with Sierra Lichty into the game for the first time. Betancourt out there as well.
Gonzaga's just elected to extend their defense in the half court down here when the Bison are bringing the ball up.
Boy, nifty feed and 1 for Kunin. She's unstoppable when she gets down low.
Got a good drive there and just was able to get the ball up and onto the backboard.
What a start for Avery. Already 11 points here, just a quarter plus into this one.
Now she can just start to hit these free throws, make herself feel a little better about her time at the line.
Well, we talked about this last year. Her ability to finish at the rim as she rattles that home and finish through contact to make those and ones was another thing she's worked on.
She's done a much better job with that. I think just more practice opportunities and anticipation. And,
that off the mark from Inez Betancourt.
Good. Nice move there. Just wasn't able to score it, but up for the rebound, Coonan, and back we are in the half court.
Boy, nifty fans there from Coonan to hang on to it. Asp will put it on the floor. Up and under move. Too strong with that. Rebound to Lichty.
It's a nice move. She took her time, just couldn't quite get that angle on the backboard.
Tie game at 22. Baseline drive. Wilson underneath the backboard here and able to draw a foul. Got to give it up for Julia Wilson. She's giving them some energy here off the bench.
Yep, she definitely good on the dribble penetration, strong with the basketball, and was able to draw that one on Hobson, I think.
Foul was on Hobson. Whitaker checks back into the lineup. As Amy mentioned, they got players from around the globe, New Zealand, Turkey on this roster, Spain as well. I mean, that comes with the name, though, the recognition. I mean, you don't have to be a diehard basketball fan that you know what Gonzaga is. As that's last touch by Gonzaga. It's going to be Bison ball. That just comes with the territory. And I was visiting with Lisa Fortier before the game, and she said, you know, we're the pro team in Spokane. We don't have any professional teams. We are. Like, they know when they walk around town, people know who they are.
Yep, that is true. You know, it's only a school of about 7,400 students, not a major in terms of size university, but their name recognition is there. They've consistently had a good program.
What a move by Schiller. Uses her speed of the baseline.
Sting like a bee. Just get right in there and score it.
Obviously tapped into what the men's team has done with consistently the NCAA tournament, Final Fours, Elite Eights. That baseline jumper there is too strong.
And I think Schiller got her hand on that,
Up ahead, that from Frost. Even Jossie can't track that one down. That's going to be a foul. That's a tough one on Coonan.
Yeah, Jossie did get a hand on it and save it, but then we were a little late to get there and draw that foul.
You know, you say not that big a size of school. It's not, but they carry a big-time name. Obviously, that's why the Pac-12 wanted them. I mean, there were different conferences vying for Gonzaga services for the last 5 years, and that's going to be an offensive foul on a moving screen.
Good hustle through that moving screen and drew the foul. Again, just some smart play by Jossie.
So next year when these teams play, as this is the front end of a home-and-home, and the Bison will go to Spokane, that'll be against a Pac-12 team.
And great opportunity for the Bison team to get out there and play out on the West Coast. And
personally, I think the reason you've got a great crowd tonight, name recognition as well. I mean, people have come out on a Friday night here to the Shack to see how this Bison team will be.
And you shared with me, they asked you that the Gonzaga that we know, that Gonzaga?
Yeah,
yes, that Gonzaga.
Exactly right. Good one going so far. 24-23, North Dakota State with the lead. Coonan with 12, Schiller with 9. They've got 21 of the Bison 24. Coonan off the mark there. Rebound by Niebuhr and draws a foul. Lily took a shot there. She's going to play more minutes here early on as West Fargo's Mariley Simon still recovering from off-season knee surgery. She had that dislocated kneecap that happened in the WNIT finale the Bison played, and might see Mariley as early as next week. The Bison play Monday morning against Concordia.
And I don't know that I anticipated Lily and Avery together, but certainly
it's
gives
a long lineup,
more,
right?
A little more height in there.
Frost misses the three. Again, the Bison still, and that's a traveling violation there on Gonzaga. The Bison forcing some turnovers here in the second quarter.
And she knew she did it too. It was one of those grimacing looks. Extending this into a little 1-2-2 half court. Trying to put some change the speed of the game here and put some pressure early on the Bison.
Hobson will try a corner three. Couldn't make that. Frost tried to fight for the rebound, and she's going to be called for a foul there. She didn't allow Whitaker to come down.
No, stepped right in there and caught her hip.
Bison 0 of 4 from three-point range so far.
Well, the zone defense that last couple times possessions by Gonzaga maybe stifled the offense a little bit in terms of just where Bison trying to get the ball, especially inside.
Smith back into the lineup for Gonzaga. She's got it now, joined by Lothing, number 1. Here's Whitaker. Now Betancourt working on Schiller. Swing pass, that's a turnover. Gonzaga's turned it over 3 of the last 4 times.
Good pressure defense from part of the Bison. Everybody working together, and I think they felt good about those last couple times down on the defensive end.
Gonzaga in the middle of a 2.5-minute scoring drought here.
Picking back up man here defensively.
That's a foul on Whitaker, trying to reach on Kunin.
I'm sure the coaching staff was not happy with that over there. You just don't want those silly fouls. You know, you've got good matchup here and just don't want players being undisciplined.
So Hale comes back in. Hobson, entry feed. Kunin worked her way through, couldn't finish, and Hale in there for a good aggressive board.
Was physical under there. She was kind of getting knocked off of her spot there and had to try to get that shot up without the balance she really wanted.
Wilson to the cup, can't finish that. Asp in there with a board.
She's had a couple good drives like that where she gets in quickly but just hasn't finished.
Speaking of quickly, Schiller too strong. And Hale with the board. Boy, she caught there. I don't know if she knew she was that open.
I don't know. I don't think she did. And then, maybe with Hale coming over.
Boy, Jossie nearly read that.
That's those kind of players that, if she misses something, she's going to try to get it back, make a good play.
Bison have gone nearly 3 minutes without a point. That too strong from Betancourt. And the rebound to Kunin.
Fortunately, the Gonzaga gals aren't putting it in either right now with some of their
we got
good shots.
Pretty good drought going here for both teams.
Both teams are playing hard, a lot of defense this quarter, a lot more aggressive defense.
Swing pass, Schiller, corner three, in and out. Bison still have not made a three yet. In transition, loafing, good pass to Wilson, too strong. Loose ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Bison. And we'll get a media timeout here with 4:54 to go in the first half. Each team in the midst of a scoring drought. Bison lead it by 1. 54 to go in this first half. North Dakota State leads Gonzaga 24-23. Stay tuned, everybody, for the Farmers Union Insurance halftime report coming up. Feature on Jossie Schiller joining this Bison women's basketball team. That's coming up in 4 minutes and 54 seconds of game time. Right now, we're in the midst of a pretty good drought here, Amy. The Bison have gone 3.5 minutes. Gonzaga nearly 4 minutes without a point.
I'm sure both these teams would like to have some of their shots back. Gonzaga, especially on those opportunities to get to the backboard and just miss some layups.
Out of the inbound, Turner will leave this. Taylor Smith, little turnaround shot. Finally, the drought ends for the Zags.
She had that soft touch and got the roll.
That puts Gonzaga back up by 1. Nearly stripped away. It is stripped away from Asp. As Smith got her hands in there.
Quick hands by Smith, just able to flip that out of there. Asp will remember that. She's going to take better care of the ball.
Hale with a pull-up jumper. Can't connect that. Rebound picked up by Lenz. Last touch by Gonzaga. It'll stay with the Bison. NDSU went through nearly a similar drought on Monday in the third quarter at Northern Iowa. Went 6.5 minutes without a point, and yet still maintained a healthy lead on Northern Iowa because they were playing some stingy defense.
That was a difference there. Yeah, you would have assumed it could have gone really bad, but defense kept them in the game until they could get things going again on the offensive end.
They're going to have to find something here to manufacture. They're 4 minutes without a point as Hobson took one too many steps.
One too many there. Good thought.
5th turnover of the first half. And back-to-back turnovers for NDSU.
Well, in Hobson's defense, too, probably at an Australian basketball, that wouldn't have got called as a travel. They seem to have that opportunity to take that extra step.
Gardner will leave this. Good feed inside. Hale rejected by Asp. Freshman on freshman there.
And Carrington just really kept the position and moved her feet fairly well down there against a strong player, and good challenge.
Referee talking to both here now about the level of contact, or maybe the amount of contact they were having underneath the basket.
Both getting pretty physical with each other there. Oops.
That's going to be a foul there on Graham as Gardner just put it up.
And Graham tried to go for that steal and overextended herself defensively, and in her attempt to recover and block that shot, just committed the foul instead.
The second foul on Graham as Gardner goes to the line and misses the first. Gardner, a sophomore guard, transferred in from Boise State. Makes one of two.
Bison played against her last year when they played Boise.
Hobson. Feed underneath to Graham. Too far underneath the hoop. And another turnover as Graham carried
the ball.
That's 3 straight turnovers for the Bison as this scoring drought now has gone more than half the quarter.
And yet we're just down 2.
The kick over, Wilson in the corner, too strong. Rebound to Graham.
Just kind of made up for it down there with the rebound.
3 minutes to go in the first half. Gonzaga leading it by 2.
Back in the zone defense here, just probably trying to stay out of some foul trouble. And
again, if the Bison can't make a 3, they're going to stay in that defense.
They're going to do that as long as they can.
Hobson to try and end the drought. Still can't make one. Schiller trying to fight for the offensive rebound and a foul. They're going to get Jossie on that.
See the replay on that. I sure didn't see a foul. Just hustled into the ball. But missed the foul there. We'll see it again.
And there's a bit of contact there, but
both players just going for a loose ball. That's a tough one to have to swallow.
That's the 15th foul against North Dakota State, so Gonzaga now in the bonus. And the first free throw good from Allie Turner, 5'8" sophomore guard.
And a good shooter, as we know.
Bison are going near 6 minutes without a point.
Again, extending this little bit of a zone press out here just to slow the Bison down.
Graham in a world of trouble here, and that was deflected.
Yep.
Nope, they're going to stay over and back.
Yep, Bison got the ball into their own half court, so as soon as that pass went back over the half court line, it's over and back.
Doing this with a couple of their horses in foul trouble. You saw right there, Lenz, Frost, and Kraswinski sitting on the bench with 2 fouls.
This is a well-coached team. You can see the adjustments they're making and the defensive end of the floor. Offensively here, trying to take time to get the shots that they're looking for.
Shot clock at 1 here. That did not get off. That's a shot clock violation on Gonzaga.
It's a good opportunity now for Bison with these last 2 minutes. Just take care of the ball down here.
Again, with no points here with 6 minutes, and yet they're only down 4 with 2 minutes to go in the half. Nearly another travel there on Hobson. Graham is open for 3. Still can't connect. Rebound to Betancourt. Bison are 0 of 7 from three-point range. That's a three from Turner is good.
Well, she hustled up that sideline, but Bettendorf saw her, and Turner's, she's ready. She's loaded to catch and shoot, and she did a nice job.
She's got 13 first half points, and now the lead at 7. Bison need to do something on this end. Schiller tried to get it to Kunin. The ball's kicked. Gonzaga on an 8-0 run here over the last 3 minutes. That's a three from Graham, in and out. The last basket made by North Dakota State came with 8:27 to go in the second quarter.
That one by Graham
7 minutes.
Looked good when it left her hand.
And that's a three from Betancourt, and a timeout from Jory Collins as the Zags have opened up a 10-point lead.
They just hit some big shots here in those last 2 possessions to stretch that out. Bison's got to match up a little better defensively.
Just the inability to do anything offensively here. We're nearly 7 minutes without a point.
Didn't adjust very well against the change in the defense with that zone defense.
A 12-2 run. You had to know that Gonzaga was going to make a couple shots here. Again, the last Bison point came with just over 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Again, with Frost, Kraswinski, and Lenz, each with 2 fouls.
And we've talked about how that impacts this team, and I know Jory, again, would like to be able to make substitutions relative to who needs a break and not who's got to sit with fouls. So, lesson learned, hopefully, in this first half, and make some good adjustments here.
Lenz is back into the game. Out there with Hobson, Kunin, Aspen, Schiller. Lenz will try one. That's off the mark. Still can't make one from three-point range. Minute to go in the half.
Well, Gonzaga's challenging the Bison to shoot the three. They're trying to pack things in, and so far, Bison haven't been able to answer with scoring.
Good feed to the back door. Too strong, though, from Turner. Loose ball taken away by Dallin.
Boy, and you don't see Turner miss many of those shots. She got in there quickly and just was able to get it where she wanted it on the back.
Betancourt floater, no. Offensive rebound to Dallin. Another possession here for Gonzaga.
And just getting in there and fighting for the rebounds. Got 10 seconds in this shot clock possession.
Turner, about a 10-second differential here. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And a 3-second call against Gonzaga.
Not what I'm sure they were hoping for, but good for the Bison here in these last 15 seconds. They can get off a good shot.
See if they can do something here before the end of the half. Down to 10 seconds. Lenz in trouble here. Timeout from Jory Collins with 7.4 to go in the first half. Bison staring at a near 9-minute drought.
Well, there'll be some good film from this game just to teach for Georgia to work with the changes that were made defensively on the part of Gonzaga to really push Bison out away from the basket, pick them up with those traps at the half court, and Bison need to be able to get the ball down and then penetrate a little more aggressively, a little more effectively. So they'll be able to look at this and hopefully make some good growth off of this game.
The stats, nothing impressive here. 0 of their last 10, 1 of their last 12, 5 turnovers as well in that stretch without a basket. 7.4 remaining. Hobson will do the inbounding. Gets that into Lenz. Lenz traveled. Nope, they're going to call that a hell ball. Possession arrow will stay with the Bison with 5 seconds remaining.
Get into a good inbound play here under the basket.
Schiller will do the inbounding. Leaves it for Kunin. Kunin forces one up. Finally, the crowd will end at halftime. The first basket for NDSU in 8.5 minutes. But Gonzaga is going to take an 8-point lead into the halftime locker room. Riley is standing by with Jory Collins.
And Coach, obviously, you guys are right there until the end of that first half. What do you like about your team's effort until that late run?
Well, we're competing. We just got to handle the press better. We got to get our players that are ready to play in the game more, fighting foul trouble again.
Yeah, you guys had a little bit of offensive drought there. What do you got to do in the second half here?
Get our good players in the game.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Don, back to you.
Thanks, Riley. Halftime here inside the Sanford Health Athletic Complex. Gonzaga leads North Dakota State 34-26. The Farmers Union Insurance halftime report is coming up. You're watching Bison women's basketball on WD. Getting a Gonzaga team out of the West Coast Conference. This first ever matchup between the two schools. Zags coming in for their season opener here off a team that won 24 games a season ago. Facing a Bison outfit that maintained most of its roster after last season. Riley had a chance to catch up with Lisa Fortier. Riley, go ahead.
Yeah, I talked with Lisa Fortier, and she said they'd like to press more. They'd like to play more zone defense. The problem is they got to make more baskets, get fouled more, have more dead balls where the Bison have to inbound it, and then they can get into that zone defense. And on defense, the reason they had so much success, she said they started helping each other out. They were on an island to start the half. When the Bison went on that drought, they were helping each other out. And she also added it was pretty cool seeing Jaden Hale get that ovation when she win the game for the first time.
No doubt about that. She's got a big crowd of fans behind that Gonzaga bench. Underway here in the second half on this Friday night. So great to be back for another year of Bison basketball here on Extra. See how the Bison can respond. Their starting lineup back out there with three starters that picked up 2 fouls.
That was almost an opportunity for Lenz to
There's
pick
a
up
travel
that ball.
there. As Whitaker took an extra step. North Dakota State, though, Amy, 7 of 37 from three-point range in the first game and a half. They're going to have to start making the threes. They're going to be left open if they can't make them.
Well, and when you look at them as individuals, they are good three-point shooters. They can knock them down in practice. They have the skill. They just have got to start making them in these game situations.
Lenz gets her first basket of the game. She had 11 in the season opening win at Northern Iowa. Cuts it to 6. Trying to get it inside. Whitaker collects. And how about that? What a tremendous finish.
Good job of just grabbing it and getting that up on the glass. Just finishing with that right hand. A little scoop under there. And they were practicing those earlier in their warm-ups. Paid off there.
Whitaker, the New Zealand native, redshirt freshman, at 12 and 7 in Gonzaga's lone exhibition game. That was a heck of a finish there.
She's a strong player.
Completes the three-point play.
Again, they're going to pull it up here with some pressure. Take the Bison out of the offense early.
Frost swings it over. Kraswinski in the corner for 3. Way too strong with that. Bison still can't buy one from downtown.
She had a great clean look. It was a nice pass delivered. Just can't get it to drop.
Betancourt working on Frost. Ayacuzo back into the game and knocks a 3.
She's got a nice high arcing shot. Just held her follow through nicely.
Ayacuzo now with the 5th made 3 of the game, and a turnover there for the Bison.
Just caught her foot on that dribble.
As Gonzaga's opened up its largest lead of the game. Nearly 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Good feed on the back door. Betancourt, pull-up jumper, good.
Bison going to have to tighten the screws here on the defensive end so they can come down here offensively and get this opportunity
And here's
to score.
The problem now is Gonzaga's making their shots. They did not do that in the first half.
They're making their shots, and they're staying with this zone defense. Going to force the Bison to get the ball
they're gonna have
inside
to shoot
or
it
make
out
some
of it,
shots.
Right? Lenz draws a foul.
Good job of just some aggressive dribble penetration on the baseline there. Yeah, the Bison have got to move the ball and find opportunities to hit those seams, get the ball inside if they're not hitting those threes, and just finish.
See Avery Kunin going off here. That's a three from Krzyzewski off the mark. We'll see if we can get an update there as Kunin came off the floor and immediately went back behind the bench. Kuzo drives and able to draw a foul.
Just gets to be a dilemma at that offensive end of the floor because these Bison players know they can make these threes. But until they do, Gonzaga's going to force them and let them shoot the three. And I can remember in my history of coaching, one of our players saying to me, after I said, maybe you should quit shooting those threes after like 0 for 5. And she said, well, I'm open. And I said, there's a reason. They're leaving you open. They want you to shoot that. So make them get out, move the ball, move in with the ball, take some shots that we can hit, get our confidence.
Kuzo gets 1 of 2 at the line. Nearly 3 minutes gone in this third quarter. The lead at 15. Again, Avery Kunin came off on that last sequence. He was accompanied by one of the training staff as well. Krzyzewski rejected there as came up short. Schiller, though, quick hands, comes up with a steal. Gives it to Asp, who finishes.
Nice little shot fake, gets the defender up and drops the pass, and good finish by Asp. Just a little sigh of relief for the Bison there to score finally.
Turner leaves it. Whitaker drives and uncontested scores.
Just good to the backboard, took it in strong.
That turned over there, stolen away by Betancourt from Krzyzewski in the lay-in. And Gonzaga has opened this up now to a 17-point lead and a timeout from NDSU. 6:29 to go in the third quarter. The Zags have opened it up. They lead it 47-30. 6:29 to go in the third quarter. Gonzaga, in the midst of a 13-2 run, has opened up a 17-point lead on North Dakota State. Let's check in with Riley for an update on Avery Kunin.
Yeah, she went back behind the bench, got some tape on her right wrist going around her right thumb as well. It looked like she was just getting a little bit of treatment there, but it looks like she's good to go back in the game, so I'd expect her back shortly, Dom.
All right, thanks, Riley, for that, which is obviously huge news there for NDSU as Hobson feeds Krzyzewski cutting to the lane. It's Hobson out there with Krzyzewski, Schiller, Aspen, Frost. Kuzo getting anything she wants by the basket right now.
She's just done a nice job of being strong with the ball on her dribble penetration and going hard off those screens and finishing.
12 for Kuzo as Frost able to draw a foul hard down to the ground as well.
Got that shot up, but that would have been a hard one to make. Physical contact there.
Kunin will check back in as Frost goes to the line. Again, one of NDSU's better three-point shooters a year ago. She converts the first free throw. North Dakota State 0 of 11 from three-point range. And 7 of 39 to start the season. You're going to have to figure that out.
Yep, it's, it can be a situation where everybody's hitting or everybody's missing. It's just one of those kind of contagious things, the three-point shot.
Kuzo, good feed to Jaden Hale, too strong. Hale got her own rebound. Gardner working on Hobson. Here's Turner. Penetrates. Can't finish. Hale, the offensive putback. And listen to that ovation.
I'm sure she feels good about that, being here in front of her friends, family, and making a big shot.
First career basket as Schiller misses. The lead at 17 as we're halfway through the third. Okuzo just in complete control out there with 12 points, 5 of 8 from the field.
Gonzaga's just being pretty deliberate in their half-court offense right now. They're going to work the ball around, get the shot they're looking for.
Like that
nice
from Gardner.
Pulled-up jumper right in the middle of the lane by Gardner.
The lead at 19 now, the largest of the game, as Frost feeds Kunin. Kunin going to work on Hale, and an offensive foul. And Avery came up limping there after that.
Let's see what happened here.
We're going to take a timeout here.
Ankle maybe, rolled a little ankle.
4:22 to go. Not good news there for NDSU's best player. Bison down third quarter. Gonzaga leads it 53-34. You could see the Bison training staff working on that right leg ankle of Avery Kunin. Clearly in distress there. As you could see, she could not put any weight on it, and she's going to come off the bench here and head back. That's the second time that's happened here in this quarter. So already a tough night for NDSU. May have gotten even tougher with their best player coming off the floor as Schiller tried to get the steal.
Bison are doing a little fight fire with fire here. Going to put some pressure on Gonzaga as they were doing with Bison guards and see if they can take that out of their offense. Put it quick in there for the rebound.
Gardner's flying in for the offensive board. Here's Turner. Leaves it for Mackenzie Dallin, down to 7 on the shot clock. Gardner with a pull-up jumper. Can't get that one to go. Kraswinski battles for the board.
Frost is going to try to push it up here. Smart to wait. Sure they'll get everybody together. Still against this zone defense.
Kraswinski open to the corner for 3. Still can't get a three-pointer to go.
Boy, she's looking for him. She's taking him with confidence. Just can't get that ball to drop.
Kraswinski was one of NDSU's best three-point shooters a year ago. Bison now are 7 of 40 to start the year from three-point range. That one off the mark, down low from Dallin. Frost in transition for NDSU, wants to bring it to the basket. Short with that. Schiller able to force a steal, another one, as Kraswinski comes up with it. Schiller will try from long range, that's short. And Gardner with a board. That one stolen away by Hobson. Gonzaga careless with the ball here.
It.
Schiller, that one knocked away. Last touch by Gardner, it'll be Bison ball.
Well, both teams are definitely exerting a lot of energy here. I mean, they're getting after it defensively. They're trying to push the ball up the floor. I think you're going to see a Gonzaga team stay deliberate in their half-court offense. Clock is definitely on their side. They're going to use as much time as they can and stay aggressive on the boards. Then try to stick with their zone defense. But got to break that zone down, find some of the shots they need to look for. Just be aggressive in attacking. But in their defense, too, early in the season, you probably have spent less time on your zone offense than your man offense for most teams. So different combination of players trying to figure out how to move that zone and get the shots they're looking for.
Well, Bison here again in a long drought, 3.5 minutes without a point. Of course, they went 8.5 minutes to end the first half for Kunin's basket right before the halftime horn. Here's Carrington Asp down low, too strong with that. Whitaker comes up with the board.
Asp was deliberate. She took time to get her feet around, just try to get the shot she wanted, just couldn't score it.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Betancourt, pull-up jumper, couldn't connect there. Good box out as Kraswinski comes up with a loose ball. Hobson, can she end the drought? Yes!
There it is, finally.
The first made 3 of the night on their 14th attempt. Into the corner, Wilson answers right back.
Well, and they're capable of hitting those threes as well, and got to know where those shooters are.
Foul here on the drive from Asp. You can see that Kunin's back out working on the stationary bike here right behind the Bison bench. Which at least that's a positive sign there to see her back out. And comes back onto the bench and looks like she's going to go back into the game here, Amy.
Good for the Bison.
That's absolutely a good sign.
She's got that right ankle taped up. And sometimes you can work back on it. Now tomorrow it could be a little sore, but right now.
Bison will have a couple days off. They got to come right back though on Monday morning to play a game with Concordia, Division III school. The foul was on Wilson, her third. Kunin out there with Graham, Kraswinski, and get another foul away from the ball here. Hobson and Schiller are the 5 on the floor. As they get Whitaker on that foul. And that's going to be the 15th foul on Gonzaga, which will put NDSU into the bonus.
Hobson at the line here.
Mentioned earlier, Amy did, that the Zags opening road trip, they'll go from here to Toledo, Ohio. Not sure there's any direct flights from Fargo to Toledo, but they play the Rockets coming up. And they're coming back to the Midwest as Hobson misses the first. They'll be a couple weeks from now down to the Pentagon in Sioux Falls to take on South Dakota State. With Aaron Johnston's team, the preseason pick to win the conference. As Hobson hits 1 of 2.
It'll be interesting to see how those two teams match up. You know, when you play in Sioux Falls and you're South Dakota State, it's just about a home game.
Oh.
Fans
no,
show
just
up
about. You just take it is a home game.
It's a home game.
Under a minute to go here in the third. Betancourt, boy, she's an impressive player.
This has a good feel for timing, you know, timing the game and the possession. And
9 points and 4 assists. As there's a steal. Taken away by Lichty from Kunin, and she lays it in. And the lead now is at 22, the largest of the game. Bison have only scored here 10 points in the quarter. That shot off the mark. Another rebound for Okuzo.
You got to give AK credit. She's letting it fly.
Yep.
She's shooting it, and she's confidently shooting it.
Betancourt with 7. Floater short there. Kunin comes up with it. Sees the time remaining. Down to 1. Got to put it up here at the horn. Almost banked it in. And that will do it in a dominant third quarter for Gonzaga. They hold North Dakota State to 10 points in the quarter. At the end of 3, it's Gonzaga 60, North Dakota State 38. Fourth quarter is coming up. You're watching Bison women's basketball on WDAY. A game for the Missouri Valley Football Conference. North Dakota State can win the conference outright tomorrow. The Bison only won once all time in the Alara Center. Looking forward to that coming up tomorrow afternoon.
Well, the Bison dug themselves a big hole here that they're going to have to try to work their way out of. And
look at Kunin fights for another rebound. It's good to see Avery back in there.
Getting off her feet, doesn't seem to be limping or having trouble moving.
This score is a rarity for what's happened inside this building over the last 3.5 years. The Shack has become a really tough place for visitors to come in. The Bison only lost 5 games inside this building as Kunin misses the first. 3 of those games are to South Dakota State.
Well, I think it speaks to the quality of this Gonzaga program and team. As we said, some very good credentialed players. And, you know, sometimes it's easier to be on the road for your first game. When you're home, you worry about pleasing the fans and adds a little pressure. When you travel, you're all focused just on basketball. You don't worry so much about, like you say, keeping the family and fans happy. Just can be a benefit, especially when you're a new group of players like these are. Although they are experienced in terms of their whether they've transferred in or played internationally or wherever they've been.
Ball was turned over there.
Deflected off a foot.
Bison are going to figure out how to shoot the ball here, though. They have just not been great in the first game plus. As here's Lenz in the corner, hits a three. Long time coming there for Molly Lenz, the second made three of the game. 60-42 with 9:18 to go.
Well, and as we said, these players know they have the ability to shoot the three, and there's nothing in terms of mechanics or things. It's just a matter of making it happen in the game situation.
Okuzo working on Lenz. Turnaround jumper is good. Boy, that was pure. Zio Okuzo with 14 in the game for Gonzaga.
They can score in a variety of ways, whether it's, down on the block, shoot the three, dribble penetration, turnaround jumpers. I mean, we've seen a lot of different offensive skills coming out of this Gonzaga group.
Foul's going to be called there on Whitaker. Excuse me, on Smith as she comes out. And Schiller will go to the line. Saw our feature at halftime on Jossie, who last year was the Summer League Freshman of the Year at the University of North Dakota. But the Fighting Hawks got a win in the Summer League tournament. Beat St. Thomas in the opening round last year down in Sioux Falls. Hits both free throws. She's got 12 in her home Bison debut, but it's a big uphill climb here for North Dakota State, down 18. That's going to be a foul there. Kunin working on Whitaker. That's going to be the fourth on Avery. What's been a frustrating night.
Well, she's working and doing all she can to try to lead this Bison team on the offensive end especially, and there too defensively, just a little too physical.
Kunin will sub out, 15 points and 5 rebounds. Kraswinski back in, joined by Frost, Schiller, Lenz, and Asp. That's a three from Turner is good. Allie knocks down another one.
And just smart play on Turner's part. She saw Schiller go behind the screen, gave her a big gap to get a good look at that three, and was able to knock it down.
That's her fourth made three of the game. Turner up to 16 points to pace Gonzaga. Talked about her in the open. As we get a whistle away from the ball and a foul. As they get Gardner from the foul. That one nearly stolen away from Asp. Here's Frost. Drives and able to draw a foul. Marissa yet to make a shot from the field.
Well, she's had some good dribble penetrations, attacked the basket well. Just a little too quick with this one to get that up there.
And a frustrating start to the year from the field for Marissa as well, who was really good shooting last year and stretches in her freshman year. She knocks down the first free throw. What we saw was that, her ability to get to the basket and finish.
And I'm sure we'll see a lot of those from her this season. It's still a little bit early and uncertain sometimes, and playing a different position too in that two instead of the point guard.
2 minutes gone to the fourth. The lead is 19. Hale will put it on the floor here and able to draw a foul. And she'll go to the line. She drew the foul on Carrington Asp.
Well, if the Bison can just finish out these last 7-8 minutes here with some good execution in the half court, find some shots, hit some shots, just to make some adjustments in the zone offense, I feel a little better about ending this game.
Hale, the reigning Miss basketball in the state of North Dakota. Missed both of the line. Last touch by the Bison. Crowd not happy about that. It's going to stay with Gonzaga.
Well, you mentioned Hale. He's had good performances in here and felt good about playing on this floor.
That time she traveled, though. Niebuhr will give Asp a breather. (65-46), 7:48 to go. A lot of time left. The Bison's got to start making shots and stopping Gonzaga. Lenz can't connect from three, and Hale with another board. 2 of 17 from three-point range.
Yeah, you're just not going to win very many basketball games at that percentage.
Whitaker, the spin on Niebuhr, and draws a foul, goes down hard. She's got some nice post moves there. We've seen that tonight.
Yeah, she really does. Good footwork and gets around, gets a shot up.
Whitaker at the line. In and out with 7 points on the night, 7 rebounds as well.
Well, the takeaway for the Bison will be spending some time, on the zone offense and doing a better job of moving the ball and getting better shots. And problem is then you might not see a zone for 6 or 7 more games, although, film gets around and people look to see what does work. So you're going to see some zone until you figure out
Hale
how
inside,
to
missed
break
that.
it up. To get that rebound back.
3 minutes gone here in the fourth off the turnover that Gardner forced.
Again, going to use the clock here, work the clock down, look for a shot soon here.
Drive from Betancourt, turnaround shot, couldn't get that to go, went down hard. Last touch by Kraswinski, it'll stay with Gonzaga.
Just seem to be getting the breaks too on those kind of situations where you have the 2 players going for that rebound and goes off AK.
Inbound to Hale, trying to back down Niebuhr and finishes. And Hale with her second basket.
And this coaching staff from Gonzaga is going to give her every opportunity to be on the floor here in front of her friends and family.
Lead back to 22. Lenz, step back with a long 2, in and out there. Rebound picked up underneath by Turner. Turner stuffing the stat sheet so far tonight. She's got 16 points. 3 rebounds as well.
Well, she's just kind of doing it all. Good leader on the floor, controlling tempo.
Off the mark from Okuzo. Rebound picked up by Lenz. Tries to push it. Leaves it for Marissa Frost and able to draw another foul. She's always driving to the basket, is young Marissa.
Right now, she's just taking it on, aggressively going and seeing if she can get herself a layup or a trip to the free throw line.
Bison will be in the bonus for the rest of the game. Frost hits the first. All of her points have come at the line tonight. Hits them both.
Makes that a positive possession.
But the lead is 20. Smith over Betancourt with a 3 is good. And as Betancourt knocks down the 8th made 3 of the night for the Zags. And this now the largest lead of the game.
And back to that zone defense.
3 in the corner. Kraswinski finally, as the lid comes off. foul away from the ball. He's going to get Niebuhr on that.
A little bit too much contact with their arms on the screen.
Your second personal foul, 5th team foul.
Fighting over.
That'll send McKinley Dallin to the line. Dallin, who transferred in from the University of Minnesota.
Yeah, you watch this Gonzaga team, and they look like they've been together as a group, maybe a little longer than they have. But again, some of these players have come in with some pretty good experience in their transfer situations and added to this team with their skills and depth.
Halfway through the fourth, all Gonzaga here. They put the hammer down in the third quarter. Here's Frost driving and draws another foul through contact. And she'll be going to the free throw line outside this TV timeout. 4:53 to go in the game. Gonzaga on the way to its first win of the season, leading North Dakota State 73-51. 4:53 to go in this one. Coming up, we'll select the Nodak Insurance Company player of the game. We'll do that. We wrap things up on this Friday night. We'll be back with you on Monday morning. Yes, morning, 11 a.m. tip. Another day game filled with over 2,000 elementary school kids will be here. Bison will take on Concordia, so join us for some brunch basketball coming up on Monday. Bison then will head to Sioux Falls. They've got a game at the Pentagon a week from Sunday against Nebraska. As Frost hits the first. And then another big-time opponent coming to the Shack with Tulane 2 weeks from tonight.
That'll be a great opportunity to see another team from outside of our region and to see what they bring to the court.
And that's a game back end of a home-and-home that North Dakota State feels like they should have won last year down in New Orleans, a game that they led for a majority of and saw Tulane press them, and that lead went away, and eventually the Green Wave ended up getting the victory. Frost with 9 points, all at the foul line as we get a foul called here. That's going to be an offensive foul called on Taylor Smith.
Well, the tide changed when Gonzaga went to that press in the half court and took the Bison out of their offense and just kept picking up with that in the zone. Combination of that press in the zone really changed the complexion of the offense for the Bison and struggled ever since.
There's Frost driving to the basket for two. Now in double figures, the third Bison in double figures with 11. Joining Schiller and Coonan. Betancourt picked up her dribble. Oh, Okuso grabbing at her right knee there. Not sure if she cramped up or what. As Lenz will drive and score. She's in some pain here. Zio Okuso has been really good tonight.
I don't know if they bumped knees or what she did or just twisted. Just have a sleeve on that left leg.
Yep, she's going to come off here and in some considerable amount of pain. (73-57) with 3:48 to go. As the Gonzaga training staff will work on Okuso over there on the bench.
And Gonzaga's just going to work the clock here, spread the floor. Everybody's got their head up.
Last touch by NDSU. It'll stay with the Zags. Not sure if she cramped up there or what. Is giving her some fluids. Kraswinski, nice job to steal that away. AK comes up with it. Drives to the basket. Couldn't finish it, though. Coonan the loose ball and finishes.
Good job by Avery just to follow that in and get to that rebound and put it on the glass.
Bison in the midst of an 8-0 run here. They've got it to 14 with 3:18 to go. Might be a little too late in this, though, to come back. We'll see. Coonan hustling there to try to take it away from Whitaker. It'll stay with the Zags with 13 on the shot clock. Late horn here. So they're going to let Asp come into the game. They will.
Oh, a little bit of a lift there. Coonan as she goes back out.
She's definitely fighting something. And there's Asp comes up with a steal. Second straight turnover for Gonzaga. And then Asp fouled as she drove to the hoop.
Bison stayed aggressive here. You know, they're trying to get to the hoop and attack the basket. Just got to make these free throws.
So here's Carrington Asp, freshman who joined the Bison last year. Early enrolled, joined the team in January as she graduated early. Was a member of the team but couldn't play in any games, and visiting with the Bison assistants and Dylan Geisert and Jamie Berry, how much that helped her in her advancement to get ready to play. And obviously her debut was fantastic on Monday night. She misses both free throws here, though, as Krzyzewski grabs the board. Got a whistle here as they're going to fix the shot clock. Free throws might be another thing they'd be working on here. Just 18 of 25 of the line tonight. .253 to go. That ball was kicked but not whistled there, as Turner definitely kicked it.
Saw that.
Lenz off balance and one for Molly Lenz. This is a 10-0 run here from North Dakota State.
Well, getting some momentum here to close out the game, something to build off of for these Bison players. Sure, they're disappointed here tonight. Came in with high hopes of getting a win ultimately, but just playing good basketball, and I think they may have been a little bit surprised by as much of the press and zone that they saw here tonight.
Lenz can't complete the three-point play. Good feed. Whitaker fouled there on her way to the basket. They have cut into this. It was a 22-point deficit. This 10-0 run has cut it to 12 with 2:30 to go. But looks like it'll be too little too late. Again, Coonan back on the stationary bike, so not sure if that's a cramp deal that she's dealing with. We'll have to visit with Jory Collins about that after the game. Whitaker knocks them both down to end the drought. Gonzaga nearly had gone 3 minutes without a point. 2:25 remaining. The lead at 14. Schiller drives and able to draw a foul. Say this, NDSU is consistently kept driving to the hole here.
They've been driving, they're drawing fouls, they're staying aggressive here and getting themselves to the free throw line.
Good to see Oakuzo back in there after she left with that apparent left leg injury. It might have been a cramp. And Coonan off the bike is ready to come back into the game as well. As Schiller again misses the free throw. The Bison now 18 of 27 at the line tonight.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be. You definitely want to make those count.
1 of 2.
A lot of movement into the lane on these free throws. Refs are holding their whistles.
Schiller with 12 points, 3 rebounds, couple of assists, 3 steals as well.
Bison tried to pick up some full court pressure there.
Lead is 13 with 2:12 remaining. Feed inside for Whitaker, and a three-point play opportunity.
Oh, just good baseline pass there and an opportunity to seal, go strong. Got the help over there by Marissa, but a little too late and too much contact.
Say this, Gonzaga is going to be a problem for teams
They've got
in the West Coast Conference.
They've got a nice team. They've got, all the pieces seem to be there. They've got ability to score inside. They can handle the ball.
Got the ability to shoot from
outside.
outside.
From anywhere. Intermediate shots, three-point shooters.
4 players in double figures for Gonzaga. Whitaker up to 13 on the night. So we're down to the final minute 50 in this one. Coonan gives that to Krzyzewski. Frost had that slip through her hands, and that's a turnover. Both Krzyzewski and Frost took their eyes off it there, nearly lost it. That time Frost did. .90 seconds remaining in this one. Feed there, and the drive from Turner. Who's had a great night
she's
tonight.
Good with the ball. She's times her tacks well. I think Bison have Jossie on her. That's the best person to try to stop her, and she was still able to get in there and score.
Schiller floater is good. Tough shot from Jossie. Up to 14. The lead is 16 with a minute to go. Jory Collins ready to empty out the bench here. It's going to be a frustrating night as the Bison will lose for the first time this season and just for the 6th time inside this arena over the last 3 years. That shot from Betancourt off the mark. Coonan fighting for another board. So down to the final 45.
But it's a loss to a quality opponent, and possibility for this team to grow off of this game, to look at where they need to improve so that by the time they roll into conference season, they know how to attack the zone. They can handle the press. They can do the things they need to get the win.
Bison will sub out their starters as Krzyzewski, Coonan, Schiller, and Frost come out of the game. .32 remaining in this one. Asp back in with Hobson, Niebuhr, and Graham to wrap this up. Lichty drives. Foul called there. We've had nearly 50 fouls called here tonight.
Yeah, I missed
a lot of whistles.
I'm not sure that one was on even. Was that on Graham or Asp?
It's the 22nd foul against the Bison. Gonzaga has 27 fouls against them. So a lot of whistles here tonight. Again, it's early for the officials as well, as that's in and out from Sierra Lichty. One of two. Shot clock is off as we're down to the final 18 seconds of this one.
Well, both teams had an opportunity to get a lot of players into the game tonight and them see what they could do.
Asp will put it on the floor. A little spin in the lane is good from Carrington with 3 seconds remaining. But Gonzaga will come into the Shields Center and get an impressive 81-66 victory over North Dakota State to get their first win of the season. And the Bison suffer a rare home defeat here tonight.
Well, and again, a quality opponent. I think it's maybe more advantageous to play some good and take a loss and grow from it than to have an easy game and not really get better.
Bison finished just 3 of 20 from three-point range for the first 2 games. 10 of 48. Something that I'm sure